Okay, so this area, we had a huge project this spring and we took out 4 trees here that were clumped too close together. They weren't things that we wanted. They were, one was sick and it was tall and it threatening to fall over. So we took them out, and that's what you saw all those paths lined with. And we started replanting. In this area, in the future, we're probably going to get a few chickens in here, and we really want to close the cycle, the loop, and have manure producers on this property. So we're probably going to get just a few layers, maybe 6 egg-laying hens, and we're not raising chickens for food other than some eggs, but really to bring in that nitrogen cycling that comes along when you bring animals into the permaculture setup. So that's a project next year we're going to be looking at. And then for replanting this, we took some evergreen camellias, and these are in the tea family, and these leaves are actually, you can make tea out of them. And we planted quite a few of these this year. We planted about, I don't know, would you say a dozen of these, yeah?
Probably more like 15.
Yeah, and the reason why we did this is to give the property a bit of a evergreen hedge that is a good understory. So one of the things the previous owners had done or not done is they just planted a bunch of like tall canopy things together. They didn't plan the canopy levels. So that's one thing we really are trying to do here, is do a little bit of revising with what's already established here and really get that mixture, that permaculture planning, the permaculture setup of having high canopies, mid canopies, and under canopies. So that's what we've done here. This is our lower shrub level canopy, and then I planted 3 Italian stone pines. And these I ordered also over the internet. They're so small, but they've grown, well, almost a foot this summer. So it's a really good sign that they're establishing into their environment. And again, these are a lot like the Korean nut pines that well, I'll show you a photo when I edit this video, but not only do they create a really cool looking canopy, but they create a really delicious, highly nutritive pine nut. And so this is also helping us with evergreen, our border shrubbery, and food production all the same. So we're excited to get these guys rolling. It'll probably be quite a few years before we get to taste any of their production, but they're going. But in this area we have a lot of sea berry, which is a nitrogen fixer, and also a really delicious, super nutritive plant. Their berries have 21 amino acids in them. It's the only fruit that is known to have that many amino acids. They're very complete in their nutrition, in addition to being nitrogen fixers. So these are great to have.
Everyone's okay.
These are great.
Always trying to upstage you.
I know they are. These are great to have in any permaculture food forest setup. We've got a few different varieties started. They're a little slow to establish in rainy areas. They evolved in sort of drier, high mountain areas. I've really had to work with them a little bit to get them rolling. I don't have any good suggestions and tips right now. I'll get back to you on that one, but they definitely are a little bit finicky if you're in the Pacific Northwest. But that said, we have a few growing, and they're taking hold. I've brought in, we have 2 different species of hazelnut that are doing quite well. I would suspect that next year they'll be producing nuts. We've got blackcurrant, 2 varieties of blackcurrant in here too, and currant does very well in the Northwest, and we're pretty excited about getting those to fruit. Onto the property. This year I brought in some, these are temperate, this is a Korean pine nut pine, and these are fine to grow in colder, wetter regions, and they produce a really high quality, highly sought after delicious pine nut. Now I wanted to get stuff on the property this year that could create some good healthy fats. I didn't feel like we were growing enough healthy fats on the property, and we don't have a lot of space for doing like big walnut trees. So I researched some things, and I got these Korean nuts in, and we'll show you in a second. I also have some Italian stone nuts, which is another type of pine nut. Okay, so traffic's picking up right now because it's commuting hour, so bear with us on this video. But this year we planted in 2 more trees out here, and they're olive trees. So this again is going along with me wanting to get more fat producing elements into the food forest, and these are a arbequina olive, and they do well in temperate regions. They produce really nice, good fatty eating, like table olives, and that's what I love. I love eating olives. I must be part Mediterranean. I could eat olives every meal.